Capture was taken by a night guard in Mexico and shared by Pasilo Infinito. The night guard states that many of the staff are talking about really weird sightings that they come across, particularly in the midst of night in this old hospital. Even ghostly patients can be seen ever so often, roaming the hallways, although people are generally not supposed to be there that late at night. It's really strange, but if you look closely, you can see a torso coming out of the floor, which is obviously not possible. The security guard is pretty sure that we are seeing a spirit here, or at least something non-human. But what do you think? I have certainly no explanation for this. Video was shared by Tracy Paris, and the description reads that she was showing a family gathering. It was recorded by a camera that her cousins have seen up. Some really ominous stuff going on. Ahí fue, ver. ¿Usted cómo se llama eso? Oh wow, what's that? Oh, the heavens. That was this looks like some really powerful activity. This was captured by a worker during a nightly shift. He was just moving some heavy machinery to a construction site. He was by himself at the time. Didn't see anything strange. But based on his reports, he heard a weird scream from the neighboring fields, which caused him to pull up the recording after his shift had ended. He saw something quite unique. Some of his co-workers think that he might have captured a floating torso of a spirit, or maybe another form of creature. Was pretty baffled and had no explanation of what we are seeing here, especially since it just shows up for a few moments before it vanishes. Super weird. What do you think could have been captured here? How creepy. Photo video sent by Alex. He tells me that he found it on another channel. Apparently, the man in the clip was recording a short video which he talks about a game that he has sold to somebody else. While he is going into detail about the steal, his camera can capture somebody else in the apartment. At least that is what the viewers believe. Let's take a look. Did you see it? Let's take a second look. It appears that somebody, standing in the dark hallway, turned towards the young man with the camera. The question is, will it be anything mysterious? Maybe just a friend who's playing a prank for his viewers. Whatever it is, it appears to be female, with long dark hair. You decide. You want to check out Ortega and the news state that she saw a ghost everywhere on the hallway. Nobody was out there. Sure, they kept it first thing. Let's take it. Let's live. I mean, yeah, I would say it was just a normal person, but how it is so sure. Looks like he's from a different time. At least to me. We're taking a look at another really odd dashcam recording. It was taken by a man who was on the way home one night. He tells us that it is pretty uncommon to come across people on that road, since it's very narrow and not intended for pedestrians. It was also very late that night, slimming down the chances that anybody would decide to walk these streets. Nevertheless, he came across a strange woman. The woman seems to be wearing red clothing of some sort, but she's not carrying any light source, meaning that she must have been walking up that road for hours in pitch darkness. The man didn't think anything of it and drove past her, only to run into her again a few minutes later. How was that possible? How could the lady be walking up this pitch black mountain road faster than a car? Of course, this is impossible. The man was sure that he must have captured a ghost that night. This is another nightly security encounter captured by a young man who was patrolling the upper levels in his local hospital. He wasn't a believer in the paranormal at all, and apparently had captured this encounter purely by chance. What caused all of this? He heard some unexplained noises from the empty wing of the upper floors, and this was when the recording started. Alright guys, I'm at the empty floors. I was hearing some noise coming up right now. That freaking me out, so maybe film a little bit. We see a strange shadow figure standing behind one of the chairs right in front of the window, and the young man didn't know if he actually saw this thing at the time or if it was just a trick of the eye. Pretty eerie, isn't it? But then there was another shadow seen at the end of the hallway. It went completely unnoticed. Is it safe to say that ghosts are roaming this empty wing? Profile clip has been shared by Leah Henderson on her profile. It's just a regular day for her. She was out with her little baby who enjoyed a car wash together. The little one apparently always loved the spectacle. Leah wanted to record the event on her phone to archive the video diary. However, after they arrived back home and were watching it, something seemed to be with her baby and the car shouldn't have been there. Let's take a look. Her family members and friends noticed that the creepy face seemed to be popping right next to her sleeping toddler in the car seat. Does this perhaps resemble the face of a child from the afterlife? Some commenters on her profile believe that they can see exactly that. But how would that be possible? What a terrifying thought that would be, right?
So I went back to the haunted car wash video thing. I wanted to go ahead and do a video showing me going all the way through the car wash for those who are trying to fake it or say it's fake. Um, this is kind of a video of the camera, my hair. I wore it wavy just like I did that day, but it's actually videoed back in, I want to say January, maybe February. I'll have to check that. But I've been trying to avoid watching it because it creeped me out. See where people would say it's my hair, my it was wavy and it had that hurt. For those of you saying that I didn't have a headrest there, there's obviously the headrest. It does get bright on the side of it with all the lights going on.
Long story short, when Leah went once more through the same car wash another day with similar weather conditions, she was unable to recreate this effect. So it could not have been anything reflecting and creating this weird shape, at least in her opinion. In the end, we cannot say what exactly was captured, but it is certainly super unsettling. So now we want to take a look at another really unsettling clip. It was filmed by a security camera that a young family had placed in their living room to keep an eye on their baby whenever they are not in the room with it, and also for security purposes. The mother in particular was quite baffled when she checked the recordings the same day. The toddler seemed to be interacting with something invisible. It's pulling a onesie around, or perhaps some sort of blanket. Strange. Is this a paranormal event by any chance? The family believes that maybe a deceased family member was visiting and playing with the kid. They had never seen anything like it before. Animals seem to attract a lot of paranormal activity for some reason. The following video was captured by two friends who also were on a late night trip to the destination. The empty roads lead through an old mountain via a tunnel. They actually state that they have come across some relatively odd stuff in this tunnel. They heard weeping noises, even though nobody was visibly there. They feel always a little bit uneasy when driving through the night. They came across something new. Person of small stature, red top and brown pants, is pressing against the rock wall, not moving at all and seemingly staring into the distance. Friends say that they believe this to be a kid, which means that this would be a rather reckless act, since this, of course, is extremely dangerous. But was pretty clear that this was no living person, maybe the apparition of a young boy. Really hard to say for sure, but it's begging quite a lot of questions. Why was he standing there? Was it just a skid? Or was there another, more plausible explanation for this? This video was shared by Jack, who states that he and his girlfriend were out that night on their way to the Blue Ghost Tunnel to follow up on some research they found on the internet. They came across something pretty inexplicable in their minds. Important to note, they state that they did not bring any flashlights at the time of their initial recordings and only came back with one after exiting the cave and running into a couple that actually brought one way later. Let's take a look. Oh, I can hear your footsteps. I just seen a light at the end of the tunnel. What the? Hello? What the? Uh, Mysterious light was seen right at the end of the tunnel. Given that nobody had a flashlight, it made them wonder what could have been the cause for that. Also, the cries for help were only discovered after the couple had returned home. Was it cries from the afterlife? In 1888, 30 people lost their lives right in front of the tunnel when a train crashed after the conductor had jumped off and left the machine, as well as several more fatal accidents that had taken place around the cave. Could this all be the reason for the residual energy It might have been captured on tape here. Who can say? This video has been shared by Fourth Wall and it features a man who documented every case of paranormal activity in the house of his late grandmother. He states that the whole family believed that she had a drawer which had an evil spirit attached to it. And there was a lot of weird phenomena whenever they were visiting. Now the grandson was documenting the weird things in this abandoned home that were still taking place. They think that this potentially is the spirit of his grandma sitting at her dining table on the floor. Is this possible? This video was forwarded by Sunbro and found it on a channel called UNB White. It features a young man who's recording a video featuring his newly developed piano skills. However, the really interesting part is unfolding in the background. The young man had never uploaded anything creepy, so his viewers were a little bit intrigued. All of a sudden, the door opens behind him. He seems quite a bit surprised. Of course, he leaves the room to check. Can't find anything. Then he constructs these events. Takes the camera and looks the room. And see a dark shadow standing in front of his closet. Hume later states that he didn't see anything weird at the time, so we can only suspect that maybe only the camera could pick this illusion up, right? It wasn't just a skit, of course. And then comes the shy user calls. Stopped by the phone. Starts the thread by saying, during a power outage in an isolated town I was living in for work, took a video after noticing all the cars had stopped on the road. I couldn't even hear them running. But the internet came back, and the snap sent by a friend said, at least you weren't alone. I was. I had multiple paranormal experiences, but this is the only one I've got. It still makes people shiver. What had happened? People seem to see a figure sitting at the counter in front of the candle. You see it. The interesting part is these don't response with. It was actually no church thing. It was an L-shaped counter that I used for food prep. It looks to me as though someone is standing there. cleaning it. But I don't know, no one was in the house besides me. As I also have a video of me stubbing my toe on the way to the door. And in that video, nothing is there. What do you guys think? Paranormal apparition? Or is it just a confusing effect caused by the candles? a really strange video of a security camera, which was monitored by security guards. He was looking at the camera system, which was surveilling the museum he was working in. He stated that he saw a weird shadow walking around, which initially caught his attention. He started recording it off of his screen. There were some people enjoying the exhibition still. However, the semi-transparent shape seemed to pop up randomly. He had never seen something like that before. It was also a strange story. The end, it's not really clear what was captured that day. Now let's take another look at the Joshua Luck family, who have been experiencing paranormal events for months now. The family has posted their latest paranormal experiences online. If you're not familiar with the Joshua Luck haunting, go check out this clip where I dedicated an entire video to the creepy things happening to this family. This first video was taken during a live stream inside the family store, where much of the paranormal activity has been occurring. The father at the well and his wife set up two cameras in the shop, both aimed at the mannequin. Have the paranormal occurrences related to this? So it makes sense that they wanted to investigate further. Once both cameras had been placed, it's no time at all for something creepy to top camera to see one, showing the mannequin secure properly in the frame. Shortly after, we see something peering out of the side, working out to the left of the mannequin. About the video, one wrote, a few days ago, the live on my wife's account, and you can see the face of the woman in the live stream. See, she moves her head and eyes. Most viewers agree that this is the same spirit that has been haunting this family for months. Do you see the resemblance? Next video was also taken in the family store. This one was taken by Mother Marcia, who was filming the store late at night after the store had closed and she was alone to clean up. It seems like a quiet night, but she notices something in the corner. Did you see that? When Marcia turns the corner, she quickly notices a terrifying shadow figure. It appears to be quite large and is crouching over a loft area. Given the paranormal history of the store, it makes sense that Masha is terrified when she notices the large black creature. What do you think of these updates in the series? Creepy, isn't it? Following video was captured by a young man who was visiting a sick family member in the hospital that day. There's some eerie stories about ghostly sightings that have been reported in this building. After his visit, he decided to use the washroom, and when initially hearing some unusual screams from within there, he decided to record his short trip to the washroom. And just for a brief moment, the young man seems to capture someone in slippers and a hospital gown passing him by in the background. He didn't even realize what he had captured here. And of course, there's no trace of anybody who could have been using the visitors' washrooms, which is why many say that this was probably a spirit walking the old rooms of the hospital. It was recorded and shared by Danny Tuvia. We have taken a look at some of his previous recordings, which all have been relatively creepy. Tonight, he started a video to talk about his favorite Halloween movies. When he hears a knock towards the left of the hallway, even his dog seems to have noticed. Then he captures this creepy thing.
Has all my favorite Halloween movies on there, and this is my favorite. Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh, oh.
Many people are unsure what had happened here exactly. Some say it's a negative entity, others say it's just cheap effects. But whatever it was in the end, it gave a couple of viewers some really bad nightmares. Who can blame them? Things and the video picture walking on the dog sound
Hey, come on, please.
The family believes that something really strange is going on in their house. The user states, raise the volume up. You will hear something saying, help me. I would totally believe this was just somebody hacking my RLO. But the other events that have happened in my mom's house with my daughter and myself are just too unexplainable. We've had another incident with nanny cam, seeing a black shadow near her, and work, and her suddenly waking up and screaming. I've had issues in my own room with the feeling of somebody watching, breathing on my neck, severe night terrors, missing items that suddenly recur. This has been recurring since I was pregnant with my little one. I hope moving to another home will help. So, what do you think happened here? A recording of a spirit? Or did somebody else get access to their outer security system? This clip was posted by user Twice Paint. His dad is working as a caretaker at a local hotel. He has many strange stories to tell about this place. Today he was tasked with fixing an air conditioning in many rooms in his hotel. As per usual, he was recording this for hotel management, document his thoughts and notes about this piece of machinery. After a little while, it would appear that the man didn't seem to be alone anymore. Wise Paint stayed. My dad recorded this. At some point, he recorded a woman's voice. At least that's what we think. The phone seems to get touched. It would appear there is indeed a voice coming through. A faint whisper. And what was it saying? Then the phone seems to get tipped over and falls to the ground. A strange encounter, to say the least. I think this was just a noise created by the ground, or maybe the AC itself. Let me hear your thoughts about this. Next clip we will be looking at from La Puella del Tan. This clip is actually from a live stream during a paranormal investigation. It's a account of Holt's live events where they take viewers with them to creepy, abandoned locations. They take them through as they hunt for spirits. The video we will be looking at today. He was just starting an investigation with abandoned warehouse building. One of the group is explaining the history and backstory when he leans over to grab something. You see that? When the man leans over, something can be seen peeking out from behind his shoulder. This that this could possibly be a shadow figure hiding behind. Worse, some sort of demonic entity has attached itself to him. What do you make of this character? Is this a legitimate paranormal encounter, or is it possibly just a really well-timed shadow? This is another recording from the paranormal section of Reddit, which was posted by a concerned user. He and a friend were on an investigation. They had their camera set up in what appears to be the pool area of the building. Something interesting. He states, apparition. To the left of the screen, you can see a white figure. If you look closely, a black mass following it. To me, it looks like a swimming arm, and the black mass is the rest of her body. As soon as the white wisp disappears into the wall, our camera is connected to the battery pack, just dies. You guys see here, it's possible that a spirit was going through their old swimming motions. Maybe it was just a shadow, either being cast by one of the two men or something from the outside. You can say for sure. Little was sent by Annette, and she just found it in the paranormal section of Reddit. It said it was captured by the security system of user Nonderlands that kept his recording private for over a year before now deciding to share it and get critics' opinions of what we could be looking at. Simply stated, this was captured off of security camera outside my house. Something is trying to get in. Recorded between 2 and 4 a.m. Thoughts? Well, let's take a look. There undoubtedly is something entering through the glass sliding door. The comment section is baffled, since nobody really had a good idea of what is going on here. You Could it have been something on the lens, perhaps? Very unlikely, according to most comments, since the shadow just vanishes. If anything, it's creepy for sure.